got a good show for you all today, man. We're gonna be discussing some things. We diving a little deep today, but you know how it is. You know, we gonna talk from our perspective and our lovely male carriers. We know y'all gonna be tapping in, so I think we're gonna have a good show today. What y'all think, fellas?
Sure, absolutely. Hey, I school here.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
All right, man. First topic of the day, fellas. Does a man's weakness in women cause him to be double-minded?
I long for that feeling. Why did it have to go away? I long for that feeling. Remember everything you said. Had to go on dreaming, dreaming. 'Cause baby, you are everywhere. I wish that you were here. 'Cause I don't want nobody else. I'm not afraid to be alone, new beginnings. I'm not afraid to overcome every feeling that I have. So take me in your arms, yeah. 'Cause nothing can really hurt us unless we let it grow. Forget about the past. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, no matter what I do. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, no matter what I do. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, and you know it's true. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, no matter what I do. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, and you know it's true. I know that feeling. We say goodbye until it hurts. I know that feeling. Stormy skies and fireworks, yeah. But I'm not afraid to be alone, new beginnings. I'm not afraid to overcome every feeling that I have. So take me in your arms. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause nothing can really hurt us unless we let it grow. Forget about the past. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, no matter what I do. 'Cause nothing can really hurt us unless we let it grow. Forget about the past. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, no matter what I do. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, no matter what I do. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, and you know it's true. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, no matter what I do. Baby, we can make it last. It's better when it's me and you, and you know it's true. And you know it's true. Yeah. And you know it's true.
Ay, ay. Look, I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look, Papa don't preach, teachers don't teach. Gon' reach, that's facts. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm making that cash day. Bunch of O's like NASCAR, but it's really more like NASDAQ. Why they thinking that they hot when they really more like quarter on me like a referee? Hating what they'll never be. Small top with a big bottom, yeah, shorter shape like a letter D. Let her have it, then I let her be. If you love it, gotta let it grow. Crazy cause you really never know. When I'm hurting, never let it show. I'm a two-tone, two-phone, two-chain, new thing, lane whip, but you a broke. Low class, no cash, certified lame. I've been getting to it like I ought to. Couldn't pick, so I bought two. Understand why your chick came, I'm just trying to figure why she brought you. I'm really reppin' and I'm flexed up, and I ain't gotta tell them I'm next up. Sleep on the they rest up, but I'm up and I'm getting my checks up. Me and the fellas be high as propellers, ain't could tell us we great. Looking at like how do you figure unless you could talk about 8 figures. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look. They talking like they don't know a king when they see one. See him in person, he take it back like a refund. Ballin' with my brothers, all my playin' D1. Daily checkin' chicken, he gon' spin it watchin' reruns. Say they real, but they clones of me. How my cousin in the pen with more phones than me. I got daily correspondence, we tapping in with the Goonies. Tatted tagging my body, they tagging me like they knew me. They actually living goofy, I'm tagging the flicking flexing the muscle like penitentiary Gucci. Been addicted to Stussy and hitting like roofies. I ain't tripping off you cause I've been tripping off Lucy. I'm lucid dreaming and scheming, I'm manifesting a movie. Manuscript in a million, I thought that you knew me. Focusing on the Fetty, the longevity, lifestyle. Build a future me, what I'm usually doing right now. Smoking with my shawty, we plotting another 100 grand. Hear them talk a lot, but they knowin' who got the upper hand. Ride about my sister, I'm dying about my brother, man. Leaning out the window, we got him doing the running man. Smoking with my shawty, we plotting another 100 grand. Hear them talk a lot, but they knowin' who got the upper hand. Slide by my sister, I'm dying about my brother, man. Currency from Europe, my energy from the motherland. Tweet a lot, we never seen them in the city though. Taking rent money out to flash it in the video. Staring at the real when they know it hurt, man. Cool, clean, Glock 30, dirty as your work hands. I just got a pallet of product, I'm about to flip it. I don't really got all the minutes for me to kick it. Bought my chick a LLC, we bout to scale it. Partner say he growing some, I told him mail it. Coolin' with my Mexicana mama by the ocean. Only problem that we got is running out of lotion. Getting to the chicken, let a black man live. I got more rolls on me than a fat man ribs. Never met a single that'll make me feel fear. They be throwing salt in the game, we still here. We don't hear the that he saying, he think it means something. All the players ballin', we blue chippin', we green thumbin'. Smoking with my shawty, we plotting another 100 grand. Hear them talk a lot, but they knowin' who got the upper hand. Ride about my sister, I'm dying about my brother, man. Leaning out the window, we got him doing the running man.
right? I'm getting real quick. Hey, you got Rollo. Wait, hold on, wait. Let me stop for a second. It's and when did somebody's birthday recently?
Oh yeah, just passed. Yep.
Oh man, who?
Yep, just passed.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was JB the Gent birthday, right?
The gentleman.
Let's bring the gentleman in real
Let's
quick.
bring the gentleman in real quick. Let's go.
He hailed from the city of Detroit, number 24, JB the Gent. Think about the Italian with the worst player, dog.
Yeah, man.
What up, yo? Let's crack a laugh, man. Welcome to the Maleroom show, everybody, man. How y'all fellas doing, man?
We're here.
Hey, great intro, man. I love it.
Hey, man, no problem. Happy birthday to you, bro. Happy
Hey,
birthday
thank
to
you
you,
so
man.
much,
Shout out
fellas.
to. How old did you turn, dog?
41.
Ooh.
Big
I
4-1.
know.
Stop the cap.
Stop the count. Thanks,
You
man.
know, 51. You know you 51,
Everybody
man.
asks
Stop
me.
playing. No, I'm playing. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, my boy. Shout out to you, man.
Let me see your
Hey,
birth
yo.
certificate.
What up with you, Rollo? How you doing, baby?
Hey man, I'm blessed, man. I'm here, man. You know, let's go.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Hey, yo, we about to go ahead and start the show with a little bit of the funny. Hey, yo, we're gonna sing happy birthday to my boy real quick, but I'm gonna let my man do it, dog, because my man, he tore it up. I'm gonna let my mans and them do it. Y'all wanna know who my mans and them is?
Who's your man's
What
in
you
there?
talking about, man?
My man right here.
Baby shark, baby shark.
Hey, Rilo.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby, baby, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark,
All right, that was,
So into it.
that was a side note. That was a side joke, my man. That was a side joke.
Baby shark.
Hey, yo, shout out to the mail carriers. Yo, they saying happy birthday to the gentleman. What's going on? What else? Harvey said hello and happy belated birthday. Happy birthday to the gentleman. Yo, we're gonna go ahead and get the next funny going. The real funny, man. Let's go ahead and play it real quick, though.
All right.
Son, your friend's supposed to been gonna cut that game off and get ready for school.
Pops, he can't spend the night.
Shit, he spend the night, I'm gonna spend the night in your ass. Get your friend up out and get ready for school. Son, get up and take this trash out.
I'm eating right now. Do it when I'm
You gonna
finished.
do it when you done eating. I'm gonna eat your ass. Get up and take this damn trash out. Hey, what's all this noise I'm hearing back here?
Pops, we just playing.
I'm gonna play in y'all ass. Y'all sit y'all ass down. Come on, son, at 7 o'clock. Come on, son, turn it in.
Come on, Pops, I can't stay outside.
Yeah, but I'm gonna play outside your ass. Get in this house. Son, you know what time it is? Cut this TV
Pops,
off.
hold on. I'm watching a movie.
I'm gonna make a movie in your ass. Cut this damn TV off.
Whoa, son, who is this? I told him you'll give him a ride home, Pops.
I'm gonna ride your ass home. What I look like Uber? Little boy, get out my goddamn car. I ain't got no fucking lift up open.
Oh my god, man. David is stupid, dog. Shout out, man. Shout out to David, man. We appreciate it, dog. We appreciate it. Happy birthday again to gentleman from Chantel. Oh my god, that dude was funny. Do 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 do, baby shark. Do 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 do
Broke it
do.
down like that, man. He made that
Broke it
song
down,
sound
man.
good.
Oh my god.
Did
Yo, it's on you, Rollo. I'm done, man.
it. Well, yeah, man. Happy birthday to our. He's still going. Happy birthday to our brother JB, man. Many more to you, my guy. And shout out to the mail carriers in the building. We missed y'all last week, but we hope that y'all had an enjoyable Father's Day. Hope y'all had an enjoyable Father's Day and did something for that man in your life. You know what I mean? So yeah, we had to definitely make sure we acknowledge the men out here doing what they're supposed to do. And even if you're not a father, but a father figure, we definitely appreciate y'all, man. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my brothers. I'm glad we back. We always miss y'all when we not here, but you know what it
Sure,
is. We are here today. Got a dope show for you.
sure.
And we're gonna get it popping today, man. So with that being said, we have come together once again, conversation and camaraderie, me and my brothers, to discuss topics so relevant to men and women in society today, man. We got some really good discussions that we are going to be presenting to you today, and we hope y'all do what y'all do best, man. Make sure y'all tap in, join in on the conversation, let us know how y'all feeling, man. With that being said, as we
Embark.
Embark.
on another round table that has turned into the Maleroom show. Let us never ever forget, my brothers, the foundation that is our Trinity. Let's get it. Let's go.
Don't give a sip. Let's do
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do 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 do.
Did it. You gonna make me?
Oh my
You gonna
god,
you gonna have to play it again? Nah, we'll wait. We'll do it later.
we
We'll
have
do
to
it later.
wait.
We'll do it later. All right,
With no
y'all
teeth.
ready for y'all ready for topic number one, man?
For sure, let's do it.
All right, let's go, man. Topic number one this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Does bitterness at any point justify our actions? Does bitterness at any point justify our actions? I was thinking about this question. Um, One of the main things that came to my mind was um, where bitterness kind of comes from. It comes from an emotion. It's triggered by something that gets you emotional, and then once you're emotional, you become increasingly upset and disturbed and bothered by someone, something, some situation. So in a sense, to me, it's a natural feeling because it stems from something that's very natural, which is okay. Everybody, you can't you can't judge how somebody responds or judge how somebody feels after something has happened to them. I think where the problem is when that bitterness kind of overtakes who you are and it results in the things you do. And I think certain things, especially if they're extremely severe, are just no, there's no way to justify it. And I think the severity of it, I think the circumstances of it, um, that makes it something that could possibly not be justified. You know what I mean? I heard a story about a friend of mine. Her and her ex, you know, bitter breakup, whatever the case was, and his ill will, his feelings towards her started to impact the children. I mean, like the amount of time he spent, the 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 way they were possibly treated, things like that, because of how you're feeling. If it gets to that point, you can't justify those type of things. You know what I mean? I think definitely bitterness, it's a natural thing. If you feel that way, you feel that way. The problem is when it overtakes who you are and it relays in how you act and how you treat people. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to justify that. I understand people feeling a certain way, and I understand that sometimes as human beings, our natural reactions are to act on how we're feeling. But I think there are just certain things that you do because of that bitterness that you just can't justify. Because at the end of the day, you gotta wake up and look yourself at you gotta wake up and look yourself in the mirror the next day and realize you did something. And when it trickles down to where you're starting to hurt other people and you're starting to affect how other people are living their lives and affect how other people are moving, I can't justify that.
So, yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that for sure. Uh, I guess I'll go next. I wrote something down real quick, man. I was thinking about this question as well when it was presented in the meeting. I wrote down here, bitterness does not justify negative action. So that's pretty much what Rollo was talking about. It doesn't warrant the action of someone who is still hurt by something. It doesn't warrant that action of someone who is still hurt by something or someone else. However, I can grant understanding, grace, and mercy. If someone is still hurt by something or someone and haven't dealt with it, and they do something egregious and utterly vile, then it would be difficult to justify that, which is similar to what Rollo was talking about. I would shy away from justifying bitterness and just give empathy to bitterness. So basically, I could give understanding to it. Like I could understand where a person is coming from because of the bitterness that they hold towards whatever pain that they did not deal with yet. But again, when it started affecting everybody else in a negative way, that it's a reflection of the fact that it's affecting you in a negative way, and you haven't went to the root cause of that issue. And I learned this word from the Coffee Conversation Show: excavate the issue from my man, big bro Aaron Victor. You know what I'm saying? Who you didn't dig into, you didn't uproot the issue. So the thing is still there. One of the things that we do a lot is we always try to treat symptoms instead of the actual disease. And so the disease, the root cause of what it is that is causing you to be bitter in a way that's acting negative and it's affecting everybody else, is because you haven't dealt with the root cause. It's something that you don't want to face, or something that you don't want to actually deal with. And that right there is a sign of lack. Actually a lack of loving yourself in a sense too. Because if you don't understand that pain can turn into bitterness if it's unattended. It can turn into bitterness unattended. So if you don't attend to it, if you're the type of person that constantly want to avoid everything, especially when it deals with what's within you, then all you're doing is digging a hole deeper to fall into the abyss of bitterness. You know what I'm saying? Staying down there, and all you're doing is just like, you're not dealing with it. Now you could sound like you know stuff. You could sound like you're knowledgeable and all that kind of stuff. But if you got deep roots on the inside and you're not, but you scared to actually uproot those things, then you need to apply. You need. That's a lack of applying your knowledge. That's a lack of wisdom to me. That's a lack of knowledge. So I totally agree, man. Just to echo what Rollo said, is the fact that if your bitterness turns into something that will impact others in a negative way, it's unjustifiable. You know what I'm saying? Because that person is an innocent bystander. They had nothing to do with whatever caused this response in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And that happens in relationships. Since we do talk about relationships on this show, that happens a lot in relationships, because when you have a date, when you're sitting across from somebody and they're showing you all the symptoms of their bitterness, that they have not dealt with the root cause of it. Sometimes people are trying to deal with it, but they try to do everything on their own. But if you try to do everything on your own, then you're not going to be able to grasp a holistic perspective of what it is that it takes to uproot that. You might not have a skill set to be able to uproot that. You might be practicing the wrong things to uproot that. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to apply some type of good practices when it comes to dealing with bitterness, and definitely attend to the root cause of it, so that way you don't have to worry about that type of response, which would be negative actions that you might be spewing off to other people. To avoid that, just deal with your issue straight up, and then heal from it. So that's my take.
Yeah, absolutely. And it could, and you made a point. A lot of times, yeah, people do direct it at people who don't deserve it, or people who have nothing to do with it. But
Mhm.
sometimes it could still be the people who were in that relationship or in that situation together, and what the person that's bitter, the person that was in the situation could probably still not deserve it. You know what I mean? Because it probably they're, whatever the case is, they're moving on from the situation, or they've gotten past it, or they they're trying to maybe um they're trying to maybe rebuild the bridge whatever was broken, or maybe y'all came to some type of mutual understanding where, okay, this situation ain't working and we're gonna move on, and one person just still manifests those feelings, and it they still attack this person who they were in this relationship with, in the situation with, and that's not always right either. So it could still definitely be people who are still somewhat intertwined with each other,
Yep,
but it's wrong either way. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
no doubt.
It's a bad look too, especially when you're trying to defend what happened to you. Like this happened
Hmm.
to me, happened to me, but yeah, but why
Yeah,
you have to put it out on that person? You
yeah,
know, that's a bad practice too, man. It's like it's a bad practice to have, and I mean it's okay in life. You're gonna have pain. You're gonna have pain in life, but it's a bad practice to avoid that, and then you have this residue and buildup of anger, and then you take it out on other people who did not cause any of that pain.
exactly.
And then they be like, "What's wrong with you?" You know what I'm saying? And then it's, "Oh, nothing, nothing." It's like, "What you mean
Yeah,
nothing?
like who
Obviously wrong."
hurt you?
Exactly. So what
I've heard and
happened
seen
to
some. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that bitterness has gotta be that's the symptom of, or that's the byproduct of whatever pain caused this. So you gotta address that pain, for sure.
I've heard and seen some terrible things from this bitterness feeling, man.
Yeah.
Boozy, talk to us, man.
Yeah, man, I agree with both of y'all, man. Emotions are justifiable because they're personal. That's what you felt about whatever situation or event happened with yourself. So emotions are justifiable. Now, the caveat to me is when, well, what I will say is the control and the output of those emotions to me is the measure of your maturity. So you can feel however you want to feel,
Yep.
but the way you expose that to other people, it that's what crosses the line. That's what creates the line. You know what I mean? That's the measurement of maturity of that person. So bitterness is an emotion. Whatever. If you feel that, you feel that. But when you do a negative when you have a negative reaction to your bitterness onto somebody else, that's when it becomes non-justifiable. See, it's the line is what people forget. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings are your feelings. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you had two kids and one of them gets a sucker for being good, and the other one is mad about it and they fold their arms. It's fine for the kid to feel that though, actually. But when that kid that folded his arms slapped the sucker out of the other kid's hand,
Yeah, that's messed up.
see, that's not justifiable. You know what I'm saying? You just want to show the way you feel. And you know what I'm saying, almost in an immoral way. You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to get it out. Your output of what you feel has to be shown some type of way, and usually it's negative. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to, while y'all sitting there talking, I was trying to think of a justifiable action to business that was positive, and I couldn't think of one. Usually it's negative. You know what I'm saying? Because I was honing in on the sentence at any point. At any point, pretty much. At any point, it's not justifiable. You know what I'm saying? Because usually that action is negative. So yeah, it's the lining of it. Feel how you want to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the immaturity in society. Really, is that everybody feel a certain way, but the output of it, that's the one that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people don't focus on that part. You know what I'm saying? They put the value on the feeling itself, or the excuse on the feeling itself. You know what I'm saying? And just try to make the action that they did justifiable, even if it's not bitterness, even if it's sadness, or even if it's pain, like Tay said. You know what I'm saying? They try to use the excuse of the feeling, but the feeling everybody has feelings. We can't stop you from feeling whatever you feel.
All right.
But what do you do after that feeling? How do you measure your emotions from that point? That's when I say that's a measurement of maturity. So to answer that question, no, not at
Do
all.
y'all do you all think that us as human beings realize when we just when we've crossed the line from just being emotional about a situation to becoming bitter? Is it just something that just happened? Does something trigger us and we do something and then we be like, damn, you know what? This is really tearing me up inside. Is there any is there anything that we can tell,
Yeah.
that makes us bitter? Like when we just go from emotional and upset to just bitter. Does it just happen? Or is it like, damn, I did that, or damn, I'm really over here tripping, and then like you wake up in the morning thinking about the situation, you driving to work thinking about the situation, you go to sleep thinking about the situation,
Mhm.
and then you come into contact with that person, and then you snap. Do we see that coming?
Um, it's almost like you know how you drive in a vehicle, right? Some people drive offensively, some people drive defensively.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know back home in the city of Detroit, we drive on the defense, you feel me? Because
Fact, have to.
mofos don't know how to fuck drive. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Especially on
But
the east side.
you can tell by the yeah, it's exactly. You can tell by the way of another person operate their vehicle. You could tell if an accident could possibly happen. It goes from
Mm,
being theory to possibility, right?
mm,
Now, it's the same way with bitterness. It's the same way. You can tell by the way other people remove themselves from you and leave you completely alone. That's when you can tell for sure that your bitterness has turned into something so egregious that other people don't even want you around them.
mm,
There is a self-awareness that should take place. And so when you're self-aware, you know when it's getting out of hand. You just made a good example about it, Rallo. You wake up thinking about it, you go to sleep thinking about it, everything you do, and then you get triggered and all that kind of stuff. You are bitter. It ain't no
mm,
depends. You bitter. You know this. You know this. You know there is no cop out to this stuff. All right. We got to stop making excuses all the time. There's no cop out to it. Yes, you have feelings. You are in pain. That's fine. But your bitterness is causing other people to remove themselves from you. That's a sign. If you don't have self awareness, at least look at that. Some of your people that you talk to all the time, all of a sudden they're like, I got something to do. They always got something to do now, and it's always without you because your energy is spilling over into the abyss. Like no one wants to even
mm,
deal with you anymore. You feel me?
mm,
So at the end of the day, you have to be accountable for this. You should be able to understand. You are a grown individual person. You have matured to a place. You have been through things. You have experienced things in life. You should be able to understand when you don't like something in somebody else. How is it that it depends when it comes to us? How is it that it depends when it's you that need to recognize bitterness in you, but you can tell when somebody else is hurting bitter. It's that is mind boggling. It seems very
right.
convenient that you can tell when
Mm-hmm.
somebody else is all hurting and pain and all the kind of stuff. This natty fly don't want me to cook. This nat don't want me to cook, but I'm gonna cook anyway. I'm gonna cook anyway. All right.
Stir them up.
You feel me? Like you could tell when somebody else is bitter and like, oh my God. But when it comes to you, it's like I didn't see it coming. Yes, you knew you was bitter. Look how much you got triggered. Just if a person's name have you in an emotional state where it's almost like it happened recently, like so recent, and then all of a sudden it's like they say the person's name come up, and it's like, oh my God, you cringe, you get goosebumps, your hair stand up, you get
I've
upset,
been
you
there.
get triggered, you know what I'm saying? Because of whatever experience you had with that person.
Right.
That is a state of bitterness. That's the bitterness that's starting to boil. It's starting to boil up. And that's like, and you know when that happens. It's don't act like you don't know when that happens. If you think about something in your life that is very traumatic, and then someone mention it, just even off of just random, or if you go to a random place that reminds you of someone or something, and you get triggered, that is root. The bitterness is starting to take and set. That's the beginning of it. And the more and more you don't deal with it, and like Jay said, it's how you deal with it that causes the unjustifiable acts. Then at the end of the day, when people don't want to be around you, don't get up. You can't be mad. Because who wants to be around a person with negative energy like that, negative vibe like that? Because we love the vibe, all right? Ain't we vibe? We love the vibe. You know what I'm saying? We love that Sinbad. Ain't we vibing? Y'all remember vibe back in the day? Don't leave me out here by myself, nigga. Ain't we vibing, y'all? Y'all know vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, bro.
Yeah. It started off with Magic Johnson, then it just fell through. But that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, we are aware of what it is that causes other people to make them go haywire, but you don't understand what makes you go haywire. You don't know the signs within yourself. I got a problem with that. I call cap.
Stop the
Cap.
Yep.
How you feel about that, Jay? You think we see it coming when the bitterness starts to set in?
Yeah, yeah. I think people do, and that's if you have, and Tay hit it on the nose, man. If you have any type of self-awareness, you'll feel the build-up. If you had the self-awareness, and even cover the fact that if you didn't, you'll see the output of it, which is everybody else not being around you. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I've been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came out of a relationship and was bitter about it. I was bitter of the ending of it. You know what I'm saying? So, that person, that idea, the idea of the thought of that individual was pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? So I was definitely there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Any fluorescent idea of that person was pissing me off.
Absolutely.
And so, I knew that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to come within myself to measure that. Like, am I just gonna get over it? Do I really have to be pissed every time this person has to come around? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to do that for myself. And, that's where it starts. It starts with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not get a grasp of it first because I'm telling you, being emotional is a trip. You know what I'm saying? Being on an emotional, and if it evolves into a tangent, it's almost unsteerable. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost uncontrollable. You just letting your emotions ride. It's a scary thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's incumbent of us to understand our emotions and the way we are, and then control it in our best way I can. You know what I'm saying? Things happen, but you know what I mean? Like, most of the time, if it's you and it's evident the origin is you, you should be able to control it.
Yeah. Bitterness is the enemy of discipline.
Yeah, that's true.
It definitely is.
Good way to sum that shit up.
Definitely is. Yeah, we could. I thought it was about to keep. I thought it was about to keep going. That was it. That was it. So yeah, bitterness is just
case closed on the envelope and everything.
Yeah, the feeling of bitterness. The feeling of bitterness is definitely justified, but when that feeling turns into negative and detrimental actions for yourself and or others, the boys of the mail, we can't rock with that. We can't rock with that. So yeah. Great way to open up, fellas. Great way to open up. Shout out to the mail carriers in the building, man. We see y'all. Thank you, Sean, Sabrina. Who else in here right now? Miss Smiley, what's going on? Chantel, what's going on? Keisha. Hey, we appreciate y'all tapping into the live. Aubrey, we see you out there. We appreciate y'all. For those that don't know, we have started something new for season 2 for Q&A. If you were with us last season, we would save Q&A to the end. But throughout the show, if you have the Q&A question, please put it in the comments. Make sure you put Q&A before the comments so we can start. And we're gonna holler at y'all at the end of the show, man. It could be about today's show or past show, or if you just want to holler at the brothers on the Maleroom, you know what I'm saying? Just kick it with us for a second. What we want them to do, though, fellas? What do we really want them to do?
We want them to hop on in this fire.
We want them to hop on in this fire, man. Come on this panel with your questions so we can see your face and feel your energy. No doubt. Let's get into it, man. Y'all ready for topic 2?
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, man. Topic number 2 this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Is it easier to assume in dating and or relationships? Is it easier to assume
Hmm.
in dating and or relationships? Start us off with this one, Boozy.
As hell. It's easy as hell. To assume in relationships, you know, it goes back to maturity. It goes back to, you know what I'm saying, doing, having logic over emotion, like we were talking about. Like, it is so much easier just to assume anything. You know what I mean? Like, you can assume the worst. You can assume someone feels some way. You can, you know what I'm saying? And if we're talking about dating and relationships, we're just talking about the partner or the other person, right? Like, you could just assume, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much easier to do that than just asking the question. Because usually, asking the question shows ignorance. But ignorance is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. Everybody doesn't know something. That's ignorance in the definition. Everybody doesn't know something. But for some reason, people just don't want to be ignorant about stuff. So it's easier to assume and think that you know it rather than just be open in the case and ask a question and act like, ask a question and say that you don't know or that you want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's this fake pedestalization that we do with each other, man, that causes us to crumble so much because because of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think you know everything and you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can assume that, might be a deficit in your relationship by the way that the other person is moving, but just ask them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then counter that. Like, see if that is true by deed. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if nobody said anything, and you going around like private eye detective and trying to figure some stuff out, you know what I'm saying? Like this, that's just one scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just look crazy. So I think people have a niche in their head that it's easier to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's more difficult because the way you look, because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in the unknown, and people hate to be in the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like half of people, if you just ask them this question and then put at the back of it, do you know what that is? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people will fake it. Like, yeah, I mean, I heard about it. It's like, no, you don't, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. I'm just taking that as an aspect. Like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of women think they know men. Go out there with it, dog.
Hold on.
A lot of women think they know men, and they don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You never talk to a real guy. You never experience a real dude.
Not the cap.
Unfortunately, you haven't. So you just don't know. And it'd be better if you came across if you thought it was a good example of somebody to come through, you know what I'm saying, in your life and have this role as an individual, man or woman, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't had a decent woman, if you have you know what I'm saying, an example to come through, it's all right to ask questions to that person because you don't know. But I digress. It's easier to assume, man. Like, you just think you know and you don't. And so it could be detrimental if you do that, though. You know what I'm saying? That's my ending. Like, it'll be detrimental if you do. If you just keep assuming things about me and you ain't asked me, and especially in the dating phase, you can develop a whole different character of me that's not even true. And start having this, and start having, red flags on me with inaccurate information. Like,
the worst flag,
because you don't know. That's crazy, man. So yes, it's easier to assume. It's messed up.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Another avenue, kind of to go along with George J. Even if in this situation, I'm a go with when you're communicating with somebody and you're letting them know who you are, what you expect, the type of person you are, the type of values you have. You can't assume that they're gonna always understand that either. Just because you're saying it, you can't assume they understand it. You know what I mean? Because that could lead to different type of problems. You know what I'm saying? No matter how even keel no matter how even kill you think that you two are after you've communicated certain things to someone, you can't always assume that they're going to hear you. And yes, they may agree and say they understand, but um, things start getting down the line, y'all get a little closer or whatever the case is, and you thinking okay, like you meet somebody and you let them know, you know what, right now I'm not really looking for nothing serious. I'm just kind of, just kind of chilling, focus on me, but I'm definitely willing for us to hang out, and spend time. You keep spending time, you know what I mean, and you're thinking everything is cool because you're under the assumption that they heard what you say. So I think you can't, in that aspect too, you can't assume. You know what I mean? You may have to reiterate. You may have to, check y'all, check y'all level to make sure y'all still on the same page. And if you don't do that, you just keep going along with, how y'all are, and that's where, like we just talked about, emotions tie in. So I think in that case too, you can't assume that everybody's going to always understand exactly where you are or understand completely what you're saying. You know what I mean? So yeah. Talk to us, busy.
Yeah, man. First of all, shout out to everybody that's watching the Maleroom Network. Thank you all
Yes,
for the new
sir.
subscribers that we
Yes,
done got this
sir.
week. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm just gonna keep it real simple. You guys pretty much hit it on the head, man. Yes, it is easier to assume in dating and in relationship, but especially in relationships, it's also dangerous to do this
Mm-hmm.
because you can internalize something and it has nothing to do with you. Like this person can be a person. If you're in a relationship, this is all for all my folks in relationships that's taking it seriously. If you are with a man or a woman and they're having a bad day and they're a little bit irritable, right? And the next time you see them, they're a little bit irritable about something that happened. It had nothing to do with you. Stop assuming that it's you. Stop taking it
Yeah.
personal. Like
Yeah.
people get upset. Okay, people get irritated. People get unease, especially if they had a long day at work, or if they have children. The children's not acting the way they want them to act, or if you're trying to have a situation where the communication between somebody else, like some people might have friendships with other people, and that friendship is it doesn't matter. Whatever the case may be, do not assume that it's you.
Mm-hmm.
That is, to me, that's a dangerous assumption because it goes back to what Jay said about the fact that you have created inaccurate red flags. You would rather be willfully ignorant and act like you know something instead of asking a question. Bars.
Definitely fact.
Y'all understand that? That is wild to me. And it's like, I do not, that's in the relationship. On the dating side, I cannot stand when when a woman assumes me. And ask whoever you're dating that you're interested in, ask them effective questions. Questions that are effective, that have meaning to it. How was your day? What you drinking? How you doing? Those are irritable questions. Especially if we're FaceTiming or video calling. Listen to me.
Irritable
question. Ask me again, and I'm gonna tell you the same. You know what I'm saying? Pootie tang. All right. Ask me again. I'm gonna tell you the same. Listen to me. Will you stop it? It's irritable. You don't have a long day. It's something else going on. It has nothing to do with this person, but you take it on like it's like they're just mad at me. Why are you mad at me? They're not mad. They're just upset about something, and they may not feel like talking. They may not feel like communicating like that right there at the moment. All that stuff. I mean, pootie tang, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, ask me again. Ask me one more time. I'm gonna tell you the same. So at the end of the day, it is not your job all the time to solve someone else's problems in a relationship. It had nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. If you're in a relationship with someone, it's not your job to always solve a problem, solve them from being upset. I just don't want them upset. Let them be upset. Let them go through their process. Let them go through their process. As long as it's not damaging to you directly, leave it alone. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Hit it, Tay.
Let it go. Let it go, dog. Let it go.
That's facts, man.
Oh man.
That's facts, man.
Right,
It's hard for people to do that though, man.
Corvette's Crazy Life says it's easy to assume, but never a good idea.
Yes,
I agree with
it's
that.
very dangerous. I agree with Corvette.
Shout out to Corvette's Crazy Life. Appreciate you tapping in.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just one of those things where you think it's okay, and you think that at that the end game of it is both of y'all coming to an understanding because of how one person feels. Nah, you know, your assumptions are just based. It's almost a selfish thing because it's a one-sided view of how you're interacting with somebody.
Yeah, it's a
self-centered.
self-centered
You know
thing.
Yeah,
that too, Rollo.
yeah.
Like, it's self-centered
Yeah.
because making it about you,
Yeah.
and you're having an issue that has nothing to really do with you. Y'all in a relationship, so
Yep.
effective communication is very, very important in that
Yeah.
battle. You know.
Yeah.
Usually that same person would hate if it's done to them, just like the last ones.
Exactly.
Facts. But to answer the overall question, But to answer the overall question, like Jay said, hell yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, but it's a very very slippery slope because things can happen, and it comes back around to that thought of assumption, thinking that everything is okay, thinking you've communicated well enough for this person just to get it.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I wasn't Jesus, so I can't.
Jesus Christus.
I just can't assume that you know, or you can't assume I know something, or I can't assume that this is gonna go a certain way. You know, like I think Aubrey just say. Yeah, like
that's what you need to know.
What you need to know. So we can get this level surface and we can keep it moving. You know what I mean? That's real. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to the mail carriers. Hey fellas, man, the chat is going crazy today, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate
that. So love it when it's communication.
Y'all missed us. Y'all missed us a little bit.
If you're enjoying the show, I'm sorry.
Did y'all mail carriers put a one in the chat if y'all missed us last week? We missed y'all too.
Fires and ones. We're going fires and ones.
The chat is popping.
Chat is on fires and ones.
The chat is popping. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Smiley.
Yeah, get them ones up. Get them ones.
Put them ones up.
Get them ones up. Get them
ones. We missed y'all too. And shout out to Tay B for taking us back real quick, man. That was a classic joint that you kind of just mimicked, man. I like it.
A volta da sua vida, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, but so we're gonna go ahead and dive in, man. Y'all know what time it is. What time is it, fellas? Y'all know what time it is.
Like butter, dog. Hold on.
Oh wait, she said hit that like button.
No, the like butter. Look at that.
The like butter? Yeah. Oh, come on, Sean.
My bad, dog. You said what time is it, dog?
What time is it, man? It is time.
Yeah.
For the featured topic of the week, y'all. Let's get it.
Show.
Man, so the featured topic of the week, man, pretty much sums up our whole show today. And y'all know we meet and we try to align our two previous topics with our feature. And I think we did a hell of a job this week of aligning our first two topics with our feature, man. So we're gonna go in, man. Featured topic of the week, ladies and gentlemen, is maturity a choice?
Ooh,
Busy,
hot.
man. Start us off with this one, my boy.
Oh, Me? Oh, okay, cool. Y'all put me on the ballot and voted. Well, that's crazy life. Communication is key, but comprehension is everything. You better say that. Shut.
Say that.
Say that. Comprehension.
Say that.
This is oh man, this is another thing about this goes into the dating culture thing that I've been on. But anyway, being comprehensive is so important, man. Oh, she hit me with something real quick. Oh, she apologized for the butter. Don't worry about it, Sean. You good?
It's all right, Sean.
Yeah, I didn't find it butter on my phone.
We understood.
Yo, so
I was looking for the butter button.
We did a poll question. Did a poll. 71% said yes, and 29% said no to the is maturity a choice.
That's kind of a lot of people saying no.
Yeah, it's now, and it went up to 25% now. 75% saying yes.
29.
No, it went down to 25%. I'm sorry.
Oh, it went down. Okay.
Just now, actually. 75% is saying yes, and 25% is saying no. The 25% is by themselves, shivering in the cold, the windy wind. So this is my take real quick. I'm gonna be very brief here. 'Cause I wrote some stuff down. I'm just gonna drop the mic. So I thought about the word. I know it. Stop. Look. Stop the cap. I said that about the scapegoat episode, and I just went clean on in. let me stop the cap because I actually don't know how I'm going to respond this way. But when I was thinking about maturity, I was thinking about a farmer. I was thinking about someone who cultivates soil and things like that, who operates in the like planting and things of that nature. And so I wrote this down. I'm just going to leave it here. I said it starts with a seed, right? Maturity starts with a seed. You got to have good soil, which is a good foundation, and you got to ask yourself a few questions here. Are you able to harvest information, advice, or good counsel without internalizing it negatively? That makes good soil. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are you the type of person that's able to actually absorb things in a very good, healthy way? You know what I mean? It ain't got to be all, in a healthy way, right? Then I said, you also need water. And are you able to receive criticism, constructive criticism, and enhance the maturation process? Are you able to bring life to the criticism by applying the wisdom that was bestowed unto you? That's very important to me, is that when someone is giving you constructive criticism, especially when they're doing it in the spirit of love, can you embrace that? And can you actually apply that to what it is that you might be going through that you need some help with? This is an element that is critical to the maturation process. Otherwise, your soil will dry up and the seed will eventually die. Whatever that great seed is, it will die. Water is produced by storms. Can you handle storms in life? Do you hide from them so you won't get wet? False. That's a person who rebels or dismiss good counsel. So if you are the type of person that's like, I'm talking about somebody giving you some real good counsel and it goes whoop, it goes in this ear, out the other, then you don't have anything to actually moisten the soil, you know what I'm saying, to give it life. Sunshine, you need that too, to be able to have in the maturation process. So that's about your environment, the people you keep, the company you keep. Is it negative? Is it positive? What is your appetite when it comes to that, right? If you put all these things together, that's a maturation process, and it's many other things, but I just condensed it to this. Because at the end of the day, it's about your attitude, right? Jay said the word ignorant. It's okay to be ignorant. But willfully ignorant, that's a choice.
That's different.
You are choosing you are unsubscribing yourself from the maturation process by doing this. You are willfully being ignorant. You would rather willfully be ignorant so that way you can continue the narrative of your rosy image of yourself, and you want everybody else to believe that. So that stagnates you from growing. That keeps you right where you are. You won't grow. You won't be able to develop better skills in life and things of that nature, all because you are unwilling. You are unwilling to turn from your own conceit so that way you can gain something better. There's a man on YouTube by the name of the Angry Man, and he said something that was very profound to me. He said some people would rather reign in hell than serve in heaven. You won't even humble yourself. You would rather reign in hell ignorantly, willfully ignorantly, than to serve in heaven, because you don't have the gumption, to actually humble yourself so you can gain some of that grace and wisdom and knowledge so that way you can grow. This happens all the time. Now you take that person and you try to put them in a relationship with someone that Miss Corvette talked about that is not comprehensive. They don't have the ability to even comprehend, to even break down and to embrace all of those things that are going to help them to be good. You in a relationship and somebody tell you, hey, you know, when you do this here, this is where my feeling goes right here. It goes in this place. And then you're so busy trying to say you shouldn't feel that way because I didn't mean to. Your intention has nothing to do with what you did. It happened. So whatever you did to a person, whether you intended to do it or it was unintended, the fact of the matter is that it affected them in a certain way. Now, either you're going to take the accountability within yourself, because if you're trying to be mature, you're going to take the accountability, either check yourself and change that, tweak that a little bit, or you're going to try to convince somebody else of what you did not intend to do. All in the name of saving self, saving face. That is immaturity. You choose all of these things to do that. You choose to do that. You choose the company you keep. You choose the people that stay around in your space. You choose this, and you choose this based on your level of maturity. And if your level of maturity is a certain place and you don't want to go anywhere else, don't be upset with the people that's going higher, because they're trying to get to a place. They own something. They working on something. Don't be upset with them. They always chilling. They ain't never doing nothing risky. They ain't never adventurous. They ain't never taking trips. So what? You taking trips and you still miserable. You go to Cancun and you cannot get a coon or anybody else to holler at you because of your immaturity. Willful ignorance.
Get a coon.
So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear it. It's garbage. It is garbage, though. We are supposed to be adults here. And the fact that you saying to me, oh, my maturity level, it only stops, I'm going to let it process on its own. Well, the maturity process is trying to tell you that it's time to move where you at. And you so rebellious, you just want to stay there. You want to hold on to some stuff that don't need to be held on to. Everybody telling you, girl, he ain't shit. And you like, no, but he got a good heart. What is wrong with you? Who raised you? Huh? Who raised you? Okay?
Oh, wow.
Everybody, that's like a woman taking 5 pregnancy tests and she trying to figure out how come it's saying positive 5 times. That's 5 mamas. That's mama, 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 mama. That you about to be a mama. But I was being protected. It don't matter. Whatever you was trying to do, it didn't work. This is it. That's how it is to be. That's the maturation process. A lot of times you're going to be isolated, just like a butterfly. A caterpillar turned into a butterfly. There's a cocoon stage. There's a metamorphosis that takes place. And if you're trying to be mature, if you're trying to grow up, it's going to be uncomfortable for you to do that. That's all I'm saying. He pulled up at the right time. Big Cal.
Well, I guess we'll see y'all next week.
2 for 2.
No.
2 for 2.
No.
I guess
don't do that,
we'll
Rollo.
see y'all.
Don't be like that.
We'll see y'all next week. It was a great show.
Don't be like that.
He done did it again. He done said he was gonna be brief.
I did it.
Storm is passing.
But no, I agree with everything. I agree with everything my brother just said. A key word that I heard him say was one of the many key words I just heard him say was absorb.
Shut up.
And
One of the
One of the key words.
one of the many.
One of the many key words. It
was absorbed.
Like,
No, but seriously, yeah, the word absorb, the word absorb stuck out to me because the three men on this panel, we've had to have some very uncomfortable conversations with each other. And one thing that kind of sticks out to me when all of us have to have those conversations is, hey, a lot of times we say before we about to tell each other what we need to say to them, we say, bro, look, I'm not trying to, make you feel bad. I'm not trying to go against what you're saying, but that's prepping us to take it in.
Yeah.
And then that's us making the decision right then and there to take it in and be mature about it.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All three of us have had to have difficult. Me and Jay just had a conversation last night. Jay had to really just give me some really brother to brother type advice. And each time before he was about to make a point, Jay was like, "Look, bro, I'm not trying to. I don't want to make you feel this way. I'm not. I'm gonna play devil's advocate." Or he said something to prep me to take in what he was about to say. And I noticed that all three of us always do that. So he did that so I can absorb what he was going to say and accept it as my brother. And it's up to me to get to decide if I'm mature enough to take what he's saying, if I like it or not, and just take it as it is and absorb it for myself and apply it any way I can apply it or not apply it, or whatever the case is. Can you absorb the things that come at you and handle it in a mature way? And I don't mean just absorb, like, cause a sponge can get wet, but if it gets soap, you get all that soap, everything in there. That's when it's most effective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can you soak in what's being said to you? Can you soak in the things that happen to you, and take it in so you can produce what you need to produce from it?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a big word for me, man. So I definitely agree.
Hey, read this, Rollo, real quick.
If you look at the word maturity, you are is at the center of it. It's always centered around the individual and their decision, including choosing to be mature or not. Absolutely. Big Cal gang. Shout out Big Cal. Absolutely.
Go.
Talk to us, Boozy.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Just to wrap up, and I agree with both of y'all saying, but just to finalize it, man, just because you old doesn't mean you grown.
Facts. People get that misconstrued. Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, just because you intuitive does not mean you smart. You feel me where I'm going? Just because you have success in life doesn't mean you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and people get this convoluted some type of way, dog. Like, people, we have men and women that I'm grown. Yeah. See, physically, you had no choice but to mature, because we're all human beings. We all get older. We all temporal, and it happens like that. But mentally, there are some stop signs that you got to look both ways on. Seriously. And that's what Tay was right referring to, you know what I'm saying? And the digestion of fact, you know what I'm saying, for application purposes is what Rob was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Those are the stop signs. You know what I mean? Like, that's when the choices come into matter. You know what I'm saying? I have met a lot of grown people that were very immature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That does not mean anything. Because you own whatever does not mean you're mature at all. That does not mean that you got the game sold up. It does not. You know what I'm saying? Because of those tiers that, you know what I'm saying, Tay and Rob talked about. Application, for one. You know what I'm saying? Like, applying information. That's a big thing because people always want to war with their feelings or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's somehow we got to this diluted factor that truth and fact are subjective.
Mm.
That's
Talk about
not
it.
true.
Unpack it,
You know what I'm
son.
saying?
Unpack it. It's Sunday.
That's not true. You know what I'm saying? Either it's black and white, right and wrong.
Mm.
But people want to dilute the truth with their feelings and call it subjective. Like, but I think that it should be that way. See, that is a wrong turn in maturity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to understand that you might be wrong, and the things you might be doing might not be right.
Yeah, that's hustling
Even
back.
if you're 50 odd years old, you could be wrong as hell.
Mm.
It's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know everything. You might as well come as a little child and say you don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Rather than thinking you know everything.
Yeah.
That will cause them missteps and maturity. So people, and all of a sudden at the end of all these missteps, you at the wrong location. So that wrong location is a misinterpretation of people thinking that you're mature and you're not. That's just the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So that application that's just for one. And the self-awareness is another stop sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be aware of what you're doing and how you move. You know what I'm saying? That might not be applicable in all situations. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you feel it doesn't mean you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a maturity stop sign. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things that people should have learned in grade school and in high school and coming up as an early adult. But people missed these stop signs. They drove right past them.
Mm.
And what you're doing at the end of the day, people, at the end of the day, life will calculate for you how mature you are. And result back to you based on that. Like, seriously, dog. That's why we got to be careful about, you know what I'm saying, certain things. And on this panel, man, we say stuff out of love and respect from one another so we can hope we can come to a certain point. But we have to find out that there's an issue first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem first. You have to admit it first. You know what I'm saying? If you get some type of advice from somebody else, admit that you might not be right. That doesn't mean that whoever's saying it is God himself. I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? But just to apply, you know what I'm saying, and digest what people are saying opposite of you. That's a maturity thing. To come off of your pedestal for your own growth and somebody else's is a sign of maturity. To come off your rail for somebody else, for the benefit of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is maturity a choice? Yes. When you get to a certain point, there are things that you can choose to do. You can choose not to react this way. You can choose to take this information. You can choose to dumb yourself down for the betterment of whatever. You choose these certain things. And in those events, tally up as that seed that Tay was talking about. It will grow on good ground. Yeah. And eventually you will be a mature person. But we all have flaws and issues in this road of maturity. So when somebody points one out, even if you think you fully flourished, be careful with that too. That's all I'm saying. It's real talk.
That's real.
I think it is a choice.
That's real. That's real. I think what's frustrated me in the past,
My bad.
and I've never been. No, you're good, busy. I've never been one. I've never been one to put whatever downfalls people have mentally, whatever, on other people. But the people who think they've reached a certain level of maturity, and they act like they're here. They act like they're there. They got everything together mentally, whatever, and then but you're close enough with this person or close enough with a group of people, and you see certain things and their maturity, the level of maturity they're claiming to have never ever matches their actions, but they're claiming that they're here. And then every chance they get to maybe express whatever intellect they have, it's like overboard.
Yeah.
You ever been in a conversation with somebody like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
What are you like? I just seen you I just seen you do this dumb shit the other day, but now
Yeah.
you're talking about now you're talking about now you talk about hieroglyphics, and the earth is this way,
It's
and
flat. I mean,
the stars are going to align like this tonight because of this,
yeah,
and I figured this out by just knowing shit. I don't get people like that, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
yeah,
When you claim you have this level of maturity, but you have people around you that see your actions are not matching up with it.
yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because it is Sunday, right?
It's
And
Sunday.
uh, some people
You can
just came
preach.
home from church.
Yeah, you can preach, bro.
So I would like to direct your attention to a parable.
Come on now. Come on now. Come
Uh,
on now.
in the
Come
Bible,
on now.
the red letters say
Okay.
some seed fell
The
on
red list.
thorny ground,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or some seed he fell on stony ground.
Preach, preacher.
But I'm reminded
Okay, now.
of the seed falling on by the wayside. And no, hey man,
Come on now.
sometimes hey, I ain't too far from the Pentecostal Baptist
Come
church,
on now.
the Pentecostal church or the
Come
tabernacle.
on now.
Listen, and the real look, big Cal like this stupid. Sabrina said, "Okay, now, right there, look, okay, that boy cooking. The ghetto gospel tabernacle is here. All right. The
Episcopal.
and I
Episcopal.
am your chef."
Come on now.
That wayside though, you ever talk to a person, you give them some good nuggets, you know you giving them good nuggets because they helped you. The nuggets
Yes.
you gave them literally helped you. You give them some good nuggets, and the next conversation you have with them, like Rollo said, they are deeper than you with the nugget that you gave them.
Mhm.
That's wayside.
Mhm.
Somebody done swoop that right up and say, you know what? This is it. This is it. That seed is gone. Because they, oh my God, it's like rapid fire ignorance.
Yeah.
It's rapid fire ignorance. It's like now because you kind of comprehended something a little bit, all of a sudden you become a guru in 24 hours.
That's
I
crazy.
talk to you the very next day, and you like, you know what? I got it. I got it, Tay. I know exactly what to do now. You haven't even processed. You haven't even let your food digest long enough to get the nutrients you need to mature.
Yep.
There is a such thing called plant food. See, I didn't even get into that part because I wanted to condense my sermon. Because here, right, got my book. You know what I'm saying? Got the scripts right here. Got the descriptions right here. You feel me? You haven't even processed, you haven't even taken the time to process to digest what it is that someone just gave you. When you have it, there's a such thing called an epiphany. There's a such thing called a paradigm. And in the paradigm, there's a pivotal transition, a change that takes place. And in that change, like you said, Jay, that's the direction of your maturity. That's when you start realizing things. See, it's okay to know it, but when you realize, right? When you start realizing things, you have something called an epiphany. The endorphins in your brain begin to be stimulated by the fact that you got this new information, and it reached in the depths of you so much that you can't stop thinking about it. And that's the process. That's the process. And if you can't skip processes, you can't skip experiences.
Right.
You cannot skip them. They happen for a reason. You decided to do something for a reason, or something happened to you out of your control for a reason, so that way you can get elevated in your maturity. But what we like to do is stay complacent mentally. We want to work on everything out on this. We want to work on all of this out here, but we never want to work on the inside.
Right.
And that's the problem. We're trying to go outside in instead of inside out. You talked about reciprocation earlier in the last season, I think, about the fact of that's the show where it talked about money is the value of money, the monetary value in dating. So you you said the reciprocation is out in. It comes, what's in you goes out, and it's right back to you.
It returns back.
It returns back. It may not return exactly the way you sent it out, but the essence of it is coming back to you. You show somebody love, you're going to receive kindness. You show somebody respect, you're going to receive the same respect or some type of honor. And that's the thing we don't want to do. So even in a relationship, you cannot take your old style with you. You can't take the old style with you. The triangle offense don't work in this NBA. It don't work in this NBA.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
Because they moving the ball too much. That ain't gonna work. We're gonna need some fast break transition offense. We're gonna need some transition defense. We're gonna need to be able to shoot from the perimeter because everybody's shooting threes. Thanks to Steph. Steph Curry with the shot. Ben cooking with the sauce. I'm just saying. I'm just saying at the end of the day, we have to be able to go inside and say, hey, because let me tell you something about a seed. Once it's in the soil, you never see it. You never see the maturation process at hand, but it's happening. And how you know it's happening is when you see these sprouts of green coming out. That's letting you know that there's a seed in there. Something is growing. Something is happening. And a lot of times, I'm about to encourage somebody today. A lot of times you might be in some pain, and you might be in some pain alone, and no one sees it. Or you might be maturing alone, and no one sees it. But when you pick the right direction in your maturity route, in your route of maturity, and the avenue of maturity, when you pick the right road, sprouts of green will show up. Healthy things, you will start saying things in a healthier way than saying things in a negative way. So it'll cause you to stop saying these women out here, these men out here. No, it ain't about that. My experience was tailor-made for me. And it was tailor-made for me to learn what I need to learn in the maturation process, so that way I could go ahead and become better than what I was before. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. Some people may not like that either.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people might not like your maturation process.
They ain't gonna like it.
They might not get it across because it causes a change in you.
Yeah.
It will cause you to cause your outlook on things to change dramatically, especially for the maturation phase.
Yeah.
Usually it flips it on his end. You know what I'm saying? That's the maturation of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually that's what happens. So, you know, when you are used to being a certain individual and then you want to better yourself and you choose the right path of maturation, a lot of people are not going to agree with that. They're going to think you're being brand new. They're going to think you're being different. They don't think that, you know what I'm saying, like, you're just not being yourself. You changed. See, that's you know what I'm saying, that's that seed that you ain't see it growing. You know what I'm saying? So everybody ain't going to see your growth. You know what I'm saying? All they're going to see is the aftermath, and they're going to think it's totally different than what you was. You know what I'm saying? And comment on that. And that's okay.
Yep.
That is okay. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the change, if what you think your maturation was benefiting you, if it's benefiting you, you know what I'm saying? And you know that, you know what I'm saying, you made some better decisions on that end.
Yeah.
Who cares what people think?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We do things for our own device at first. You know what I'm saying? For our own self-righteousness at first.
Right.
And then we submit that output to everybody else so we can get pedestalization from everybody else. But once you deflect both of them, you know what I'm saying? Once you deflect both yourself and people, then you become a better person. You are free to mature the way you need to. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely,
you know, we gotta get over these carnal things that we do, man.
Yeah, that's fact.
You know what I'm saying? This the carnal way of thinking.
Yeah.
About the other person, about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get out of that, man, in order to mature properly. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's a process. You're right.
Absolutely, man. Big Cal Game says once the vase hits the fire, it can no longer be held with bare hands until it cools. Maturity brings the fire, but people enjoy being cool because it's easier to handle. Hey, that's
Hey,
a good analogy. I like that, man. That's what's up.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Shout out to the mail carriers, man. We thank y'all so much for being in the chat with us. Yo. We had some technical difficulties with Rollo, man, so we're gonna keep it moving, man. But you know what? This is the Q&A portion of the show. Real quick, we're gonna go ahead, and if you have a question or Q&A, please go ahead and put Q&A in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get your question out here, or you can hop on in this fire like Rollo always say, and you can go ahead and come on the panel and relay your question that way. But we want to thank everybody again for watching the Maleroom Show. Look here, follow us, man. Follow us on IG, Maleroom View. All right, at Maleroom View. Follow us here. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the Maleroom Network. We got new subscribers. I didn't get a chance to get their names. Normally, lately I've been presenting their names out to everyone. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, it's all good. But they are here. We appreciate y'all. Also, Facebook. We are on Facebook as well. All right. And we're gonna keep it moving, keep it rocking, man. So if anybody got a question, if anybody got a concern, go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll go ahead and get that popping for you real quick. Also, if you have any type of content that you want us to go over, hey, feel free to hit us at the Mailroom 313 at yahoo.com. That is the network email address. The Mailroom 313 at yahoo.com. Oh, we definitely look over the content. We definitely do put things into consideration, and we'll definitely go ahead and let you all know exactly. Even if we're on a show, we'll let you know, like, yo, this is content from one of the mail carriers, man. So we definitely will do that for sure as
Even
well.
I mean, we ain't gotta have no formal email to who it may concern or something like that. You ain't gotta know Microsoft Office. You can send a clip or something like that. It's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? We just want the email channel to be used sometime. You know what I'm saying? Like, just send a link, of something that you thought was interesting. Just hit the email channel with it. We'll take a look at it.
For sure. Just send a link, and we'll definitely take care of business. We want to thank everybody also that watched Coffee and Conversation. We've been rocking out. My guest was Aaron Victor. He's the number one. He has the number one bestseller on Amazon called "Built for This," and he's the author. He's also like one of my big bros that I've been knowing for a year. So we had a great conversation. So if you want to watch the season 2, episode 1, it's called "Built for This." In the thumbnail, the thumbnail is on there, so you can go ahead to the channel and check it out. Also, we appreciate people watching Coffee Conversation yesterday. We thank you so much for viewing the show. All right, Q&A. At what age do you think one should be mature? Go ahead, take that, Boozy.
I think it's upon the realization of your accountability at that age. Bible say 12, but you know what I'm saying? The age of accountability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that but as far as being immature, when you get to a point that you realize in your head that your consequence can be realized, you know what I'm saying? Like what left and right is, and what what right and wrong is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? You there's levels to your age, you know what I'm saying? So we expect you to be fully mature and wise at just now starting you right past your adolescence. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't lived that life. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're talking about when you realize, you know what I'm saying, your consequence, the realization of consequence owes its own level of maturity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a little kid should know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as you get older, graduate from high school and all this other type of stuff, you should know that it's time to take care of yourself. And you need to make choices based on that.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get older, you go through relationships, you need to make choices based on others instead of you. You know what I'm saying? See, there's levels to the maturation because of the opposition or the other end of the stick, the other choice can be negative impacting you and everybody around you. When you come to a conscientious realization of that choice, then it is deemed to you to be mature at that level. That's just my
Absolutely.
choice.
There it is right there. Yo, that was a really good answer, man. I hope that answered your question there, Big Cal. Yeah, I totally agree with you, bro. 100%. 100%. I guess that's the only Q&A that we have so far, which is all good. But it is your birthday, my boy. Weekend.
Yeah, man.
So happy birthday to you, man. Also, Rollo, the thing about it is that, there's some storms going on. And so he wanted me to let everybody know that, hey, that he loved everybody, that he will see them next week on the show while he handles his business, man. But hey, man, we love everybody, man. I just want to show love to everybody that participates in the Mailroom Network, man. That's a part of the Mailroom Carrier family. You know what I'm saying? We have so many things that we're going to be doing. We got a lot of new stuff too coming up. We got shorts out there now. We're doing our shorts thing, man. It's going really, really well, by the way. We also have some videos coming up, the Mailroom React videos. We're going to have some reaction videos. We're going to be posting those videos. So look for those videos during the week. You know what I'm saying?
This is why we need those videos.
This is why we
need y'all to send us some stuff that you might think that'd be kind of like, okay. Well, I want to see how the Mailroom think about this.
Exactly.
Send it to us.
Send it to us.
Yeah, we got a new segment coming. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, yo, hold on. We got one more question, man. Hold on, we got one more question, dude. Once again, happy birthday to you, my boy. Q&A. JB, do you think you've grown as a person over the last 365 days? That's a birthday question for sure.
Yeah, that is a birthday question. every year, every year, I don't look for anybody that know me. I don't look for the celebration of the day. I don't look for gifts. I don't look for anything like that. What I normally do is reflect. From the last time I turned, on my birthday to now. It's always a 365 thought. Like, what have I done? What have I accomplished? What can I do better? You know what I'm saying? I take reflection very seriously on my birthday. That's why a lot of people normally don't see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I usually go take a trip solo. I even if I don't have the means to, I'll be in my own mind because I need to reflect on where I've been, what I'm thankful for, where I came from, what can I do. So yeah, for the fact that I made that a regimen for me, I think I'm mature every time I do that. So hopefully that's the answer to your question.
We got another question from Kyla Johnson.
Oh, you can take this one.
Why don't take this one? When do men actually grow up and stop acting childish? Well, you sound good to do that as well. Happy birthday, brother, for sure. Look, thank you. When a man when he put away the childish things is when he becomes intentional with his life. So a man to say actually grow up, that's the same thing for women. When women actually grow up as well, it's when they become intentional. When a man becomes intentional, then he will put away the childish thing. And the childish things is like childish acts, the childish, playful acts. He will be more intentional. He will have a mature, healthy response to certain things. And it wouldn't take a lot for him to do that, but that's his personal journey to do that. She said, I had to ask, I know some men that are in their 40s and still act childish. That's the same way for women too.
Yeah, that goes on both sides.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. See.
Hey, they wanted to Tan J for some reason, dog. I mean,
now we're getting to a place where we're trying to make this thing one-sided. We're not gonna do that here at the Mailroom Network. All right. At the end of the day, the dating pool and the entire thing about happy birthday, JB from Kyla Johnson. For sure. At the end of the day, it's all about your intentional and being comprehensive. I like what Corvette said earlier. One of our viewers that said this earlier about your communication, but also being comprehensive. When a man is intentional, There is no. All you got to do is pay attention.
Mm.
Pay attention. You will see the way he move, the way he speak, the consistency, all that kind of stuff is definitely a man that is growing or is grown enough to say, "Hey, this is what I want to do." Right? There's some women. There's men in the 40s that are childish. There's some women in the 40s that's childish too. You see them on TikTok all the time when they shaking their ass.
Yeah,
Now, what about the 40-year-old women that's shaking their ass, twerking with their kids in the video at the same time? Is that not childish as well? I mean, come on. Now, at the end of the day, this is a personal journey, individual growth process that you got to take place. So when a man, specifically when a man is no longer being childish about things, he will be intentional. He'll put away the childish things, and he will have prioritized his life. When a man prioritizes his life, it will show in his actions through his decisions and through the things that he's responsible for. So at the end of the day, it's all that. It's all that. Yeah. I know. I shake my head at them. She said, "I know." She said, "I know." I shake my head at them. I do too. Like it's like everybody acts. Listen, men and women, you will see their childish acts in different ways. In different ways, we operate. We are not equal. We are not equal. Okay, we don't even operate equally. All right. So at the end of the day, no, we're not even built the same way, even from a biochemical standpoint.
Right.
At the end of the day, so our brains are operating differently. So at the end of the day, the thing about it is this: is that you can judge a tree by the fruit it bears.
Yeah, that's it.
If you approach a tree and you see bananas and you call it peaches, you're the one it's you.
Right. Yeah,
it ain't that tree is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Right.
All right. At the end of the day, this ain't, you know that. You watching apples grow from the apple tree, but you want to make them plums because you like plums. Well, go to the plum yard where they make where they harvest plums and pick from there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look, I ain't gonna deep dive into it, but that's my answer to that question. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's my answer to that question, because at the end of the day, if I see a woman, I'm gonna take it from a man perspective. If I see a woman, she said big facts. I appreciate it. If I see a woman, tell them, if I see a woman that all she do, if I see a woman and all she does is sleep during the day, if I see a woman who sleeps all day, constantly, over and over again, she couldn't be my wife. I would not intentionally date her because I'm looking for someone who know how to hold the crib down while I got there hunting for the meat.
That's easy.
You feel me? We are a team. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some kingdoms where the woman go out for the meat, bring it to the fam and all that kind of stuff, and the man come back like, yo, I tried to hunt somebody in fun, and they work together. So it's all about how you want to do your process. You feel me? Yeah. This is why maturity is a choice. Some men, there are some men that will not mature themselves because they like staying where they at. You know what I'm saying? And you can know those men by the way they move and operate straight up. And the same way for me as a woman. If I see a woman operating in a certain way that's very suspicious, I know something else is wrong. So I'm not gonna put my intentional attitude that I have. I would not put that into that woman. Just like a woman should not put that into a man that's not intentional. Same difference. Got something to say about it, Jay?
And the key word to me is some.
Yeah.
Stop bucketing all us to there. Like, crabs in the bucket trying to get to the top. That's not it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's some women that do that. There's some men that do that. That is not all men. That is not all women. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Don't use that as a placard for you to be like, oh, see, I told the PC, all y'all childish.
All these
y'all
men
childish. All y'all men is childish. You want to talk to me? Childish. You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing all that, man. Like, don't buck us all together. Because I'll be damned if have you ever, you know what I'm saying, talk to a woman and be like, see, y'all women, you gotta quit that being offensive?
Yeah, for sure. Well, these men out here are the ones. When they make like this, I'll be like, what the hell is going on?
Right. So be careful with that. That's not all men. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if your succession, if your succession of men all are childish, just pick better fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
And Kyla,
Don't
we're
say
not
that's
saying
my
that's
fault.
what you're doing. Kyla, we're not saying that's what you're doing.
Yeah. We're just saying this in general. Yeah.
And we're making it a bigger picture because a lot of people do not know how to pay attention to the signs. That's what JB was talking about in his soliloquy about the main topic.
Yeah.
You see signs, you just ignore them. That is not the sign fault. That is not the road's fault. Your ass can't see, your ass. She said. Hold on, Kyla said, someone told me that a female wearing a tongue ring over the age of 30 is a rat. How do y'all feel on that? Whoa. Hey, she ain't no
she
puppy.
fired from the hip, ain't she?
Yeah, she ain't no puppy. I'll tell you that shit.
Yeah.
She like a hood
She ain't playing with Barbie dolls, I'll tell you that for sure.
You ain't playing with Woody from Toy Story, I'll tell you that much.
Not that Woody.
Not that Woody. Reach for the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Yeah, women that wear tongue rings, man, look, over the age of 30, I don't even know what they're doing with their life. You know what? At the end of the day, stop it. Just again, this is the maturity is a choice. And some people will go to the African study majors side of things and be like, back in Africa, the women wore tongue rings to represent the village and the tribe that they. Ma'am, we all know what a tongue ring stands for.
Right.
So you need to
stop the cap.
Right. That does not mean you good at cooking cupcakes. I'll tell you that.
Your ass is freaky deaky. And you going, hey man, over 30? Hey, it is what it is, man. Listen.
You trying to show something.
Hey, not my cup of tea.
You trying to show something for the men that want to see something. That's all you doing.
Hey. We're demon.
That's all that is.
Demon.
You trying to show something.
Yo, the chat on fire today, man. We appreciate the chat, dog. We appreciate the chat on fire, man. This is the most question and answers Q&A we ever had.
This is what we wanted, though.
What we want, we love it.
This is what we request. Like, we want y'all to just kick it out, like, because I know y'all love the show and whatnot, but the back and forth that we'll do, it be dope. I want to know what y'all be thinking.
For sure.
And we gonna tell you what we be thinking.
We gonna tell you for sure. I have no filter at all. My filter is, I'm 40, so my filter is done.
Yeah, it's all time low.
My birthday is at the end of the year. I don't know what happened in 24 hours, but it just went. It was like, okay, we're done. It was partially filtered. I still had a little bit of, but it's over now.
Yeah, they told me at the oil shop that I can't get another one. So.
You can't get no other one, man.
I can't get no other filters.
And Sabrina, we made you a moderator, by the way, so I was able to do that from the chat. She said, my son said, at what age do baby daddies become parents? What age do baby daddies actually become parents? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Unpack that. What you mean by become parents? What do you mean by that? You talking about being active in their life?
Doing the responsibility of them, I'm assuming.
You talking about the responsibility of an actual father?
Yeah. Yeah, I would like for her to expound on that, what he's talking about.
She said yes in the chat. Okay. Go ahead, Jay. I'll let you start on that though.
At what age do baby daddies actually become parents? All right, this is still a STEM. I'm glad this is a maturity episode.
Yeah,
this is all stemming from maturity, man. Like, when the conceitfulness and the pedestalization, as I say, of yourself, is something that you deal with when you dealing with yourself, being in your prime or being successful in life or whatever the case may be. All that shit stops when you have a kid. Or at least it should. You know what I'm saying? All that stops. You know what I'm saying? So you are a parent when the child is born. by our state government and nation. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, But however, I know people don't do their roles, and unfortunately, we have a broke society with a lot of broken families because of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it at what actually they become apparent when they realize that their life is not theirs anymore. When they realize that they have a role to do for another person, including, you know what I'm saying, that's giving up all their you know what I'm saying, that's giving up all of their, they things that they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Their advancements, all of their dreams, and that's all that stuff. I'm not saying you know what I'm saying, you completely stop, but I'm just saying, like, all that stuff has to take a seat. It takes a priority to a child. You know what I'm saying? But the realization of that only comes from the individual.
Yeah.
See, the maturity individual only stokes this issue, though. Like, I can't say that, you know what I'm saying? I answered it from a legal standpoint. That's as soon as the baby's born. You're the parent. But, you know what I'm saying? People, and then society will hold you accountable as such.
Yes, it
going
will.
down the line.
Sure.
So, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, for them to be an active parent, because I seen the phrase active parent.
Yeah.
For them to be an active parent is all in the mind of the father.
Yeah.
It's in the mind of the father to willing to concede and be like, you know what? This is what my life is about now. Regardless of what it was about then, it's all about him. You know what I'm saying? And to move in that direction, because, we're not given training manuals on this shit.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know when we have kids, we don't know what to do. But, you know what I'm saying, the philoprogenitiveness, the love for the offspring automatically kicks in, and you just subside in your head, like, to that feeling. You know what I'm saying? You subside in it. To the fact that all your responsibility become there. That's when it activates. But it's incumbent on the man to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it comes on the woman to be a mother as such. Not even going to leave the women out of that. You know what I'm saying? It's incumbent on just because you had a kid does not make you a good parent.
Ooh. Let's go.
Sorry, dog. Just because you had a kid does not make you a good parent. That does not make you that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the mindset of it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of us is still with that philoprogenitiveness. Look it up. It's the love of one offspring. It's the instinctive love. It's instinctive. It's in us of the love of one offspring. It just automatically happens. When you see the child, you just want to do whatever for it. And when you succumb to that idea, that's you. When you succumb to that idea, like, this is what it is, that activates it. And that's when you become a parent. And everything you do is willy-nilly on that aspect. You don't even have to think about it. You just like, I just got to do this for my child. I just got to do this for my child. You just off the bat, because you clicked it off. You clicked you off and clicked that on. And it just happens. But you have to make that switch.
Absolutely.
I can't say some people do not. Some people just willy-nilly just go ahead and just do their own thing and don't care. And that's sad for it to be that way. But that was their choice. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's the maturity level they was at the time of their conception. So, I can
speak to this situation firsthand because I come from a single parent home, and I come from where my biological father was not in my life at all actively. All right, my biological father did not. I think the first time I actually even saw him that I can remember, I was like maybe 3 or 4 for the first time, and then after that, I ain't seen him until I was like 12. Then after that, I ain't never seen him. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we never spent quality time together or nothing like that, right? And so, consequently, what happens is that you turn into you have a level of loneliness that takes place as a kid, especially as a young man. You have because what's happening is that you're going through a maturation process, and I'm gonna be honest with you, young man, your mother may not understand it. You know, and it's not for her to understand because she can't necessarily understand it directly, but she could have a level of understanding around it. At the end of the day, the active parent issue is the fact that, like what Jay said, I'm gonna piggyback off that. He made that choice to not be active in a sense, right? Now that you're at the age of 16 years old, at the age of 16 years old, you know, and I have to give credit to my mom because she raised me in the church and said, hey, I cannot teach you how to be a man. I cannot teach you how to do all the manly things that I would like a man to do for me. So
that was the right answer.
Yeah, it was the right answer. She was like, so
right answer.
So there are men in the church, and hey, you're gonna find you a man in the church that you can glean to. And so I did that. And so as a result, it was like I was learning things about men from different men. But then this is why God is real, because what happened is I come across a man by the name of Park Stewart, who became not just a mentor to me, but a father figure, so much so to the point where he became a father and to me, and I've been knowing him for over 20 years to this day. So God will show you who is going to be a father for you. Look up to men that are doing something positive with their lives, and glean to those that have wisdom, men that have wisdom. As a matter of fact, glean to the Maleroom Network, because we're going to talk about it all here. As a matter of fact,
go ahead and subscribe,
as a matter of fact, this Saturday coming up, my therapist is going to be my guest on Coffee and Conversation. Real talk.
Okay.
And so again, this is where young men, you have to actively seek masculinity. You're 16. You have to actively seek masculinity. Toxic masculinity is not even a thing. It's a lie. It's a big lie that they tell us. Masculinity, when you look it up, it has nothing negative about it. Nothing negative about it. Being assertive, being confident, having manners, being respectful. That's masculinity. Being strong, even when you're in a weak situation. That's masculinity. Now, if you want to cry about your daddy not being there at 16 for the rest of your life, then you're going to get stuck in 16 and you're 30. You're going to be stuck at 16 and you're 40.
Yeah.
So this is why you got to uproot that bitterness that we talked about in the beginning of the show.
Right.
Masculinity for what it is. God created masculinity. And if God created a man who may not be active parent in your life, he certainly has a man that can actively give you some wisdom so you can become the best man you ever been in your life. I'm a testament to it myself. And it's many men like me, 40 years old, didn't have a father, but they came out good. They came out right. Yeah. To this day, I still honor my father and my mother. I honor that man, even though he's never was in my life. He passed away in 2002. I didn't find out till 2008. I was married and all that kind of stuff then. And I was actively looking for him. And they was like, yo, he done passed away. I saw the death certificate online and he had passed away 6 years prior to me finding him. Now, I could have carried that bitterness into my marriage and destroyed my ex-wife, but I didn't do that. Because I had an active man in my life by the name of Park Stewart, and God gave him to me for the reasons that he did give him to me. And when I need to pick his brain, he's open to it.
Right.
When I lived in Detroit, every week we had lunch, breakfast. He spent time with me. So he may not be active, just know that he's missing out on a 16-year-old young man that could possibly be one of the greatest men that ever had in civilization. He doesn't know that, but that's okay. Don't carry that bitterness though, because that's where you get stuck. Feel me? Good. Yo.
Shout out
to we gonna have to stop right here though, y'all. Hey, yo.
Great answer, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yo. Again, we got the Maleroom Network, shorts, videos, Maleroom React. Watch out for Maleroom Reacts coming up very soon. Also, Coffee Conversation this Saturday at 11:30. You'll be my therapist, Dr. Kelvin Banks. And also, we'll be back again next Sunday, 5:30 p.m. right here on the Maleroom Network. Anything you want to say, Jay?
Oh, none at all. Thanks for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate y'all. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that said that and everybody that watched the show. I really love y'all, man. Come back next week. Let's party on. All right?
Let's do it. Hey, yo, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being transparent and open about the situation, man. And I hope I said something that blessed you, dog. Until then, I'll We about to be out. We be out?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah,
You know I
baby.
like to do it. You know I like to do it.
Heavy.
Yo, gotta turn up real quick, right?
That's what's up.